Hey guys, what's up? You're listening to Nerd Boys Comic Blog. I'm Marco.
I'm Charles.
And today we're talking about all the news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con 2017. Well, not all the news, just DC.
Yes, this is part 2 to the first video that we've already showed, which was talking about Marvel. If you haven't checked it out yet, go watch it.
It'll be right here in the corner, or the link will be in the description, whichever one I find out how to use better. Yes.
And if you hear like this weird fan sound in the background, it is hot in Chicago. It's
very
scorching.
Humid. It just got done raining, so we have the fan on right now.
Yes, the rain did not help at all. That was pretty much lava falling from the sky.
Yeah, humidity sucks, guys. But you know what doesn't suck?
San Diego Comic-Con?
And Justice League.
Oh, I realized that I have a very short attention span. And I don't notice things until somebody points it out. So, I watched, that trailer maybe 10 times until you was like, yeah, none of the CGI look like it's finished.
Well, to me, a lot of it looks like it's not the final product.
Exactly.
Like, all the Red Sky stuff, I'm like, I hope that's not the final product. Just like when you were watching the Civil War trailer, and you could tell Tony Stark's suit looked really bad. And then some of the other scenes might not have been very finished, and even in the Black Panther trailer, you could tell
well, yeah, that very last scene in that one, that was pretty bad. It was so noticeable. But in this one, I was just I started to look for it, and I was like, oh, it is. This is not as great as I thought it was.
Yeah, but that's only during the Red Sky scenes, which I'm sure they're going to work more on, and they still have 4 months until the movie's out. Yeah,
November. I mean, it's. Right now, I guess it was one of those, we have to show something. Have you cleaned up the trailer yet? No, we gotta show it anyway.
Who's gonna care, really?
Exactly.
They'll get a better version in theaters.
And it's crazy because they showed this trailer and everyone was so hyped for it. Then the Thor trailer came out and it was just wow.
And then the Infinity War trailer leaked.
That Marvel was just overkilling it, but we're not comparing oranges to apples. They're still fruits.
Yeah, they're still very good superhero movies.
Exactly, but Justice League, I like what I've seen.
Yes,
Aquaman, badass in water. He actually surfs through a building or a parademon.
Where else are you gonna find that? What other movie are you gonna find Aquaman air surfing and crashing into a building?
This is probably the best version of Aquaman that I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, at least in a live action kind of way.
Yeah. I mean, just over animation, I enjoy him more because it's Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he's just going around saying woo all the time.
He's just that bro that's loves everything and everyone.
Yeah, he's your stoner friend that hits the gym every day.
So, Batman, I like the scenes with him. Cyborg, this trailer actually make me like him.
Yeah, I like the part where he just jumps in the kind of the Bat assault
Gundam
vehicle.
Yeah,
the Bat Gundam, and he's like, "Don't worry, Alfred, I got it from here." He's like, who are you? I know 4 of the Justice League members so far. Oh, 2.
Yes,
that's what he's thinking. Is I only know 2 of you, so.
Of course, he probably already know about Wonder Woman. Of course, he probably know about Flash. Aquaman, Aquaman probably just shows up when he wants to. And Cyborg, I feel like he's one of those, he just came out and just was yeah, this is how we're going to do things. And they're where did you come from, kid?
Yeah. And then Flash, he's just all you guys have done battle before. I just run and push people.
My favorite scene out of this entire trailer, Commissioner Gordon turned around, Flash still there. Everyone else gone.
Yeah, it's oh, they just vanished.
Yeah.
That was rude.
He was wow, I guess this is a thing that they always do. And then I love the way that they show off the way Flash runs. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's he's shifting out of reality.
Yeah, because I think this is him going in and out of the Speed Force, and I love the lightning. And it's weird because it shows it hits the ground, and then you can see it does do some damage, but then it does it. It's almost it's altering reality. He's shifting in and out of reality, and I love the way that look.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the lightning, but I do like some of the atmospheric changes. It's pretty nice.
I feel since he is the Flash, and he has a thunderbolt on his chest, in comics, it shows, sometimes
it's more orange looking.
Yeah. Yeah, like the white lightning, well, the bluish lightning. I guess like, movies would never get past like that blue color.
Oh yeah. It's either a blue light in the sky, it's blue lightning.
Yeah.
You'll never. Even Thor had blue lightning.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of okay for Thor, and I guess like that's why Warner Brothers was like, let's just give blue lightning. I wonder if that was a fight that they had to go through.
I'm sure Zack Snyder's like, no, I want blue lightning. And then someone else at DC was like, oh, we gotta make it like the comic book.
Yes.
And Zack Snyder's like, you want me to make this movie or not?
I mean, Josh Whedon, yeah, so...
Oh, yeah, Josh.
Sorry, Zach, we don't...
I really want to see what the movie looks like after these reshoots.
I guess they're like just minor reshoots.
Yeah, but snappier dialogue, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that. But with Josh Whedon, see how he does things. I'll probably already figure it out as I'm watching the movie. Like, this is when a reshoot took place.
Well, I'm sure most of the action is all Zack Snyder.
Well, yeah, that's what he's good at.
Yeah, and then some small dialogue or some audio right there is probably like a Joss Whedon line.
See, like, with Zack Snyder, visuals are good with him, but, like, just his tone sometimes, like, he just needs someone standing next to him to kind of help guide him a little bit.
His dialogue is also kind of
there needs to be a co-director when he does these DC movies now.
I would love a co-director being Joss Whedon, being like, hey, I would do this.
Yeah, or you can do, like, for Batman, I feel like they should have co-direct Zack Snyder, Scott Snyder.
You mean, what?
Yeah.
Scott Snyder, the comic book writer?
Yeah.
Nah. Okay, well...
Get him in there. We got the same last name. I mean, he is a Batman writer.
Yeah, he could do a really good Batman... You know what? That would be... If he had a pitch for a Batman movie...
Have them two do it. They'd be co-directors. Writer Tom King.
No. God, no.
What you talking about, no?
No.
No.
Scott Snyder's a way better writer for Batman than Tom King.
Yes, but Tom King, he... Like... Only reason I say have him write, because he'll be leaving like little breadcrumbs that we'll never pay attention to until like we get like the third Batman movie, and it just all comes full circle.
Matt Reeves, Jeff Johns, Scott Snyder, they could all write a Batman movie like that. Are we moving on to Batman already?
I guess that's like how the transition happens.
It's a smooth transition with us.
I guess that's how the cookie crumbles.
It's how the bat cookie crumbles, old
God.
chum.
Alfred, I don't like these bat cookies.
Yeah, but should we address the Ben Affleck rumor that apparently is false?
You know the thing that got me about this rumor? I was just like, one, where did it come from?
An anonymous source, apparently.
Oh, of course, an anonymous source.
But everyone ran with the story.
Hey, wait a minute. First of all, if Mr. Sunday Movies didn't cover it on his podcast by some anonymous source emailing him about it, I don't believe it.
Funny enough, it happened like this was the day before the Comic-Con panel. Mm-hmm. So I think it was just someone trying to stir up controversy before the panel or build up hype for the panel.
It's one of those things where until like, I put it like this. Everyone has Twitter. Everyone. Until he come out on Twitter and be like, yeah, it's sad to see me have to leave this. I was not going to believe it.
Yeah. And Ben Affleck, I think he tweeted about this before the panel where he's like, I'm Batman. Like, no.
I didn't even see any tweets about it, but I did, watch the video of him explaining why he's Batman, which I couldn't imagine anyone else unless, like, they're going to change and, like, have him leave as Batman and bring in, like, Nightwing to take over the mantle.
Yeah, having Nightwing or maybe, like, don't
say it. Don't say it. Red Robin?
No. I was going to say...
But we're not sponsored by them.
No. But Matt Reeves, he said that he wants this new Batman trilogy. Yeah, I said trilogy. That he's working on to be... Whether or not Ben Affleck is going to be Batman all the way through, it's still going to be...
a Batman trilogy.
Yeah.
See, I'll be up for that. But, like, don't start talking about doing a trilogy when you can't even get the first movie together.
Apparently, it's solid set for 2019.
Oh. How is that going to work? Because, like, didn't they just throw out, like, an entire script done by... When it comes to DC characters and Jeff Johns, I hate to use this term because it's a term that's like being loosely used, but I have to consider him like a god with the pen when he write these stories. Characters who just like that just have like died in comics. Not physically, but just like no one cares about their stories anymore. He comes in and finds a way to bring new life to them.
Yeah. Hal Jordan, Barry Allen, And now the entire DC universe.
Exactly.
He did a rebirth story for them all.
So when I heard that his script, written also with Ben Affleck, was tossed, I'm like, there's something going on in Warner Brothers that we don't know about. Because there's no reason, none whatsoever. And yet they still have this date for 2019. Like, how can you even set it? There's talks, we're going to do trilogies. Like, you can't even get your movies. Like, what's coming out after Justice League?
They kind of want to fast track Suicide Squad 2. They kind of want to fast track every movie, like Nightwing, Batgirl, which, by the way, Batgirl is confirmed. And Aquaman is like the only one in production right now.
See, this is why I try to tell people, do not try to run this race. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not, you're the only person who imagine that it is a race. You don't want to see it as a competition. Marvel, they have done the things that they did, and they took their time with it. DC, they should have gave everyone their own solo movie and just left it at that. Now, I mean, I hate to say it, but this idea of doing all these movies and stuff, it sounds so messy. It just, like, we're excited for these concepts in these movies. Like, you know, Batwoman movie, I would love to see it. Batman movie, I would love to see it. Flash and Cyborg together, because Cyborg should not have his own movie. Or just, he's like Hulk. Have him just do team-ups. Always, like, introduce the man. Like, don't give him his own movie. Aquaman, he deserves it. Like, you know, Suicide Squad 2, I mean, I guess there are Guardians for this universe.
No, they're far from the Guardians. I hate the suit. Apparently, David Ayer hates Suicide Squad 2.
Wow.
Because he kind of dissed the movie, and he's moving on to Gotham City Sirens.
And I'm excited to even see how that goes. Like, I want to look forward to these movies. But it's like, no one knows what they're doing. Everyone just, I feel like, instead of just like, you know, they have the chalkboard and they come up with ideas. And like, okay, let's just keep this chalkboard to ourselves until we actually start making moves. They're just yelling out every idea that, you know, they're coming up with. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, Harley Quinn, she has, if she's going to be in all these movies, Suicide Squad 2.
Yes.
Gotham City Sirens. The Harley and Joker movie that's apparently coming out. Joker v. Harley Quinn. Oh, gosh.
And I feel
that's 3 Harley Quinn movies.
And I'm up for that. I mean, like, look at Tony Stark. They throw him in everything.
Yeah, but is Harley Quinn an Iron Man?
I mean, no, but like they feel like
Superman is going to be in less movies than Harley.
I mean, I would say the perfect character to do that with would be Batman, but I guess because, you know, all the Hot Topic, you know, fanboys and fangirls out there love Harley Quinn so much, I guess they've thrown her in all these movies, which, you know, I'm up, do whatever you want as long as it's a good movie. But at the same time, it's like, why are you coming up with these ideas that they're throwing them out there, and you guys have that's all we have, just the idea for a movie.
Yeah.
Like with Marvel, they're like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna do a Captain Marvel movie. It's like, oh okay, we already have who we do. They didn't probably sign this contract months before they even told us. Like when we hear about certain things when it comes down to, like, you know, Marvel movies, it's because no, we went ahead and allow you to know the information about this.
Not all the time. Sometimes there are leaks.
I mean, yeah, sometimes there are leaks. Sometimes.
You know, it's a pretty tight ship, but...
Yeah, like, I mean, like, every now and then we may get, like, you know, leaks for stuff that's, you know, on, like, set. But it's one of those questions that you have to ask, like, is it because we think they're leaks? Because someone was able to post them up? Or is it, like, they allow it to be leaked? The mouse is a very scary person.
Yeah, wasn't going to say...
Back to DC.
I think the only time Marvel's really kind of failed and they knew they were going to fail was Inhumans.
Yeah.
That's why they kind of scaled that back down. With DC, it's like, even if they know they're going to fail, they're still going to go for it because they have to at this point.
And that's the thing. They shouldn't try to... You're not in a race. Take your time. Like, right now, what we should be concentrating on is just, like, the main characters for the Justice League. They should have given them their own solo movies.
It's already too late. We have to focus on moving forward. And I think they can work with what they've got here. They got Justice League, and spinning out Justice League, they could, like, do everyone's solo movie and then come back for 2. Now, which would basically be Darkseid?
Yeah.
More or
Now, I
less.
don't know if you mentioned...
Or the Anti-Monitor.
It could... No. I don't think... It's one of those things like Anti-Monitor. I feel like it's so much of a comic book thing. And the only reason I say it's a comic book thing, because only comic book readers will be excited and understand it. But like mainstream people, they'll lose their minds trying to figure out what's going on with the Anti-Monitor.
Remember in 2012 when no one knew who Thanos was?
Well, yeah. But I mean, Anti-Monitor is much more complicated than Thanos.
I could see it working out. Just release a few BuzzFeed articles and be like, 10 things you didn't know about the Anti-Monitor.
Nah. See, Darkseid is like Thanos. I have to...
They're basically clones of each other.
Exactly. And what happened was, they're pretty much doing... Marvel, they decide, okay, I'm a new gamer, or, this is a game I've been waiting for. I'm going to just put the comparison like this. I know we're supposed to be talking about DC and, hyping it up, yay. But it's like, we always go back to that one thing where DC is, kind of messing up a little bit. This is how it goes, and this is how I have to see it like this. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you have a Switch or a Wii U and you've played that game, you're going to know how I'm going to make this comparison. Pretty much, Marvel, they're like, okay, I'm going to go through the entire game, do all the main story, all the main quests that I need to do, so when I actually get to the last boss, Ganon, I can fight him properly and be well prepared. DC, they decide to be a speedrunner and go straight to Hyrule Castle and try to fight Ganon. That's pretty much what's going on.
That's a very good analogy.
They're just like, we're not even going to prep ourselves. Your second movie in your universe, you killed your main star.
Wow, I actually forgot that happened.
It's something that is, they took too many concepts of too many comic book stories and they just throw them in one movie. These concepts, I enjoy seeing them, but at the same time, it's like, when I'm at a restaurant, I order my drinks, I order my appetizers. Then, as I'm eating my appetizers, I still have a chance to look at the menu, so I just figure out what I'm going to have for my main course, and then after that, I'll eat my dessert and maybe end it off with a cup of coffee. Instead, you just brought everything to the table, and you was like, have fun. This is not a buffet. This is not what I'm trying to pay for.
There's a lot of analogies. We're going all out for this one.
Yes. Like I said, I love DC. Right now, they are killing it with DC Rebirth.
We can't stress that enough. We would do way more comics overhaul videos, but I'm so far behind because I was gone, and I think the first one I want to do is Super Sons.
Okay.
So we could both catch up on that. But
yes.
Because it's amazing. It's a really good story. And DC movies are kind of just falling behind. They're what Marvel and comics is right now.
It's like they just took their properties and just reversed everything.
Yeah. One's really good in the movies, the other's really bad in the movies, one's really bad in the comics, the other's really good in the comics.
And see, I can't stress this enough. DC would be amazing in movies. DC would be neck and neck with Marvel if they take their time. They try to participate in this arms race, and it's like you don't have to. Marvel, it's because Marvel is the turtle.
Another analogy?
Slow and steady wins the race. I hate to keep throwing out analogies out there, but that's what Marvel is. They took their time to lead up to this, and DC is the hare.
I don't know. There's always some person like Jeff Johns or Ben Affleck who could work with this. And Joss Whedon, his Batgirl movie, which potentially could have Robin,
yes.
Maybe Dick Grayson Robin. There's always someone who could come along and work with this universe and make a self-contained movie like a Homecoming or like a Captain Marvel or something like that. That could be smaller, but still work in this universe. Like the Nightwing movie, the Batgirl movie, Gotham City Sirens, Shazam. All these movies could do really well and just work with what they have now. And then you could have all these solo movies basically fill the gaps for you, because what you want is character building, character development.
Exactly.
All the solo movies that come after Justice League could do that groundwork for you. You could be like, what I'm watching right now in Justice League is really great and amazing, but I have no connection to the characters, which makes it less amazing, but it still looks great. And then the sequels could come after and be like, here's everyone developing as a person or as a character. And that's how I see DC's approach. Now that Jeff Johns is involved, he's probably character building, character building, character building.
Because honestly, that's why we love the comics and we are attached to these characters, because of even if you're not a comic book fan, and some people I love Batman or I love Spider-Man, you have to understand that love for these characters, besides stuff like Harley Quinn and Deadpool, well, I mean, Deadpool not so much. These characters, people are attached to them who's like in like their, late 20s or 30s. We watched shows as a kid, The Amazing Spider-Man. We watched that Spectacular Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, but even earlier than that, you have like your 90s Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, X-Men, all those.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Amazing Friends.
Yeah.
Like, you had these cartoons where, yes, I'm not a fan of comic books, but I can relate more to these cartoons, and I'm now attached to these characters where every time I see them on any properties out there, I just get excited about. That's why, like, Spider-Man, $3 billion in merchandise every year?
Ooh, probably more.
Yeah. Well, last number I heard was like 3 billion. It's because people are attached to Spider-Man, and it's because of cartoons over the years that people... Batman! It's because of Michael Keaton back in the Batman 89, and then Batman the Animated Series, and Superman the Animated Series, Lois and Lane, the Superman Adventures, Smallville. I'm not going to say Gotham because that's a crappy show, but like it's because of these TV shows and all these other...
cross-media stuff.
It allowed people to actually get attached to these characters where, now, I can probably ask a random person on the street, how did Spider-Man become Spider-Man? Oh, he got bit by a radioactive spider. Oh, do you know, like, the situation with his Uncle Ben? Like, yeah, his Uncle Ben got shot. Like, simple things like, why did Batman become, Batman, this adult male who's, like, pretty handsome as, perceived in, like, every lines of media. Like, why does he dress like a bat? Because his parents died in the alley. They were shot and killed, and he felt like he could have did something to stop it. And then, like, this is why, like, Superman, everyone knows he is an alien from another planet who crash landed on Earth, got picked up by the Kents, and because of their way of life, they taught him how to be a respectable young man. Sadly, you couldn't see that in Man of Steel. You can't see that in Batman v Superman.
You can see Bruce Wayne's parents getting shot.
Yeah, like
you saw it like 3 times.
They don't never let that go. But see, that's one thing that I can't say I loved about Spider-Man: Homecoming. It was still self-contained, but it still had relations where it let you know this is part of this cinematic universe. But they didn't have to they didn't have to talk about he got bit by a spider again. It was like barely like a second, and then that was it. Then they didn't even come out and say Uncle Ben died. It just, hinted at it where, Aunt May, like, she's going through some things since that situation. We already know the story. You don't have to give us another origin story again. And that's why I'm so upset with Batman v Superman. And I feel like they're trying to rush everything. Because you don't even have a plan for after Justice League. And it's this shit. Like, you don't have anything for 2018. They say, Batman 2019?
Aquaman's 2018.
Okay.
Shazam, Batman, a few others, 2019. And then... we should just talk about Flashpoint.
Now... because
that's something I'm really excited about.
I'm excited about that also. Wait, this going to be a live-action movie?
Yes. So, the Flash movie, now officially titled Flashpoint.
So, I feel like it's going to come full circle for that one scene where I feel like something's going to happen where that one scene in Batman vs. Superman where he actually popped in and was like, am I too late?
Am I too early?
Well, am I too early? Too many things happen in that movie where it's like, they were trying to set breadcrumbs, but it's like, okay, you didn't set breadcrumbs. You just dropped the entire loaf in my living room.
Well, no, they're like just really stale breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Flashpoint is one of those storylines. It's like the quintessential modern day Flash story, basically.
Yeah. I mean, who
it's a weird story to choose
for.
Who wrote that
story again?
Our good friend Jeff Johns.
Exactly.
Not our good friend. He's a stranger to us completely, but
the fact that, like, this guy who literally wrote, the definitive Flash story the
modern day Flash.
Modern day Flash, like, where most people who, if you ask, hey, tell me a good Flash story, sadly, comic book posers, Flashpoint. Like, that's it. That's what they run to.
If you're, like, even a mild Flash fan, you either from the TV shows or the comics or the cartoons, Flashpoint.
Yes.
Of course, why not be the first Flash movie? It makes sense. It's also cinematic enough to be that grand of a movie.
I'm hoping with that movie, they reset the universe.
That might be unnecessary. It's way too early to reset a universe. You can change a few things.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, do like how Flashpoint... Well, do Flashpoint, and then at the end of it, you pretty much set things on how you actually want it to be, so you can continue from there... your quote-unquote proper story. Because right now it's too convoluted. Too much is going on. Too many things happen. You could set it where Superman, he was never killed. Batman and Superman never really had an issue with each other.
But that's the thing. Superman's death is now the whole reason the Justice League exists.
That is a horrible reason.
But it is how the movies are working. If you have a terrible ending to Flashpoint where everything is now changed, that undoes everything for the fans of the movies.
I mean, anyone who's fans of the movies.
You've basically made a New 52 that everyone's going to hate in a movie form now.
Well, no, because we know we're going to get a rebirth.
But then you're rushing to a Rebirth movie.
I mean, they done already rushed already. Might as well just keep the train going.
Oh, man.
Cut the brakes off.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like this. But I do like the Flashpoint idea.
No, I mean...
It's a weird first movie for Flash, but I like it.
No, I like it, but it's... Like I said, right now, DC, they're rushing everything. We can only see where it goes from here. I mean, it's exciting to know that it's going to be Flashpoint.
Yeah.
But we just have to see where it goes from here.
They don't even have a director yet. They just have the title. They have Ezra Miller. That's it.
That's it. I mean, they're still back to square one.
Oh, well.
I'm not going to... Let's... I mean, we pretty much discussed, like... let's go back to Justice League trailer.
Actually, let's go to Wonder Woman. Because she was in the trailer.
Yes.
She did kick some ass.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love the trailer. Love Wonder Woman in it. Like I said, the cast of characters, I love them. Jim Gordon, we see him working out and getting ripped. I'm wondering what's going to happen in
J.K.
this
Simmons
movie.
only has one scene in the movie.
Yeah, and I'm like, why was he so ripped?
Just to look ripped. Everyone in the DC universe is ripped. But Wonder Woman 2, with rumored 1980s setting, and Chris Pine is back.
Which, I heard that, and I was just like, whoa, didn't he? And I was like, you know what? If Captain America could do it, he's a super soldier.
And he's Steve. If your name's Steve, you're probably coming back for the sequel.
I feel like that explosion, something telling me that explosion with the chemicals, it was just, it's like how with the Flash. Just the right amount of chemicals and the heat from that explosion, time travel. Don't know how it happened, but I feel like that's going to be explained.
I have another theory.
Flashbacks?
No, Hades.
Oh.
So something tells me Hades is going to be the main villain.
Let's go through all the Greek gods.
During the Cold War, there's some experiments. Maybe they open up a gate to the underworld.
Of course.
And Hades may or may not send Steve Rogers to get Diana.
I don't know why I thought you was talking about Hellboy. But no, I can see that happening. I can see that happening.
Yeah. Total fan theory right there.
No, it works. Because, like, we thought we were done with Chris Pine, and to see him return, it must be something that happens. And what you could potentially do with this, if it is in the 80s, it's like, what, a decade where he's quote-unquote been dead, and he comes back
why do you think World War II, or what?
Wait a minute, World War II took
World
place?
War I took place in, like, the 1910s. World War II took place in the 1940s.
Oh. Okay, now, let's jump, like,
Vietnam
30
happened
years.
in the 60s and 70s.
Okay, so we jump in 30 years now. It takes place in the 70s. So
no,
yeah.
it took place in the 80s.
Oh, it's in the 80s? Why I think the 70s? I am not good with time.
No.
If only I was the Flash. Okay, so with the 80s, 80s to present day. I mean, I was born in the late 80s. But 80s to present day, and he was like, what, in his 20s? Possibly?
Yeah, 20s.
Yeah, so they can possibly age him up to be like old, and she go to visit him from time to time. That's if he doesn't die in this movie.
I think he'll die again in the second one.
Damn, he got the Uncle Ben effect.
You know what she mentioned in Batman v Superman?
What?
She did mention that she's fought monsters before. She didn't fight monsters in the first movie. So now she can fight monsters in the second movie.
He becomes a zombie.
Or, I don't know. I don't want to see her kill Steve.
Well, I mean, now she's dealing with Greek gods. Something telling me that, what's that three-headed dog?
Cerberus?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, like Chris Pine. He just rides in on a Cerberus.
Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. He gonna ride in on a Prius.
In the 80s?
Like, where is that coming from?
Oh, man.
But no, honestly, it's my theory is he comes back because I'm like, I'm gonna like ride the coattail of your theory, where yes, he comes out back from the underworld, but somehow Diana find a way to save him, and he's like, wait a minute, I'm alive again? It's like, yes, you can live again. And he has like that, Steve effect, where he's a man out of time.
Yeah, I like to see a man out of time. I like to see him kind of being normal, but then like the twist, or not really twist, because everyone will know he's evil.
Yeah.
But like the betrayal.
I mean,
and then Diana has to say goodbye to him again.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like, he just following a goal, and it's like, hey, I'm trying to get my, body back, my life back. And
he would not betray her like that.
No, he wouldn't. But what if Hades told him to do something so he'd get his body back? But it's not even directly betraying her.
He could just be in control of the undead.
Yeah.
Steve's undead, so.
Yeah. I mean, he can have Steve do things where it doesn't betray Diana directly. But, like, it does lead up to these things that he's doing. It's affecting her in some kind of way, and he just doesn't know.
He could be the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Mind control.
Mind control.
And then we could be like, yeah, this is now Captain America Winter Soldier. Just like the first Wonder movie was Captain America.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about these? Do you have something else?
Oh, no. I was going to say the third Wonder Woman movie was just going to be Civil War.
I mean, what's the DC equivalent for Civil War?
Tower of Babel.
Yeah, basically.
Slightly.
You could also have the OMAC project.
Yeah.
Brother Eye. That's close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the 2 new animated Superman movies?
So, we're now going to talk about... Are they both the same title? Or are they both connected together?
They're both going to be based off the death and return of Superman.
The question that I have is the first movie going to be the death and the second movie going to be like the return?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's funny because they already did the death of Superman in the animated version.
Yeah, I guess.
And the return in the same movie.
Yeah, they did it all in the same movie. But I guess like now they're like, okay, we're going to go according to how the comics was. Ooh, do they want to do that though?
I'm sure, because DC animated, what they usually do is they take...
I'm talking about Coast City.
And
that can lead to them doing a Parallax movie.
They could. They could. But DC, like, what they do for the animated stuff is they, like, streamline it under the Red Hood.
Yes.
No Superboy punch, just Lazarus Pit.
Well, I mean, they didn't need that Superboy punch.
Yeah, and they don't need, like, any crazy...
Didn't they retcon it after that movie?
Yeah, they did.
They was like, wait a minute, this actually wasn't a bad idea. Hey, Bill, get in here. Retcon time.
Who are you, Bill? Get out of my office. Get out of here.
Do you want your coffee, sir?
Not now, Parker. But yeah, for the death, they could make it like a streamlined, easy, simple, like, you don't need the Justice League that was in the 90s where, like, Booster Gold gets knocked out.
I mean, that's what they did in their original animated movie.
Yeah, just make it simple. Or you could make it like the whole Justice League cannot stop Doomsday, and then Superman has to fight him.
And I can see them not having Batman, not having Wonder Woman. Like, I mean, because, Wonder Woman, she wasn't there.
No, it was the crappy 90s.
Yeah.
Well, if you like that team, sorry. But the crappy 90s Justice League. Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Fire and Ice were on the team.
Nah, they could just go ahead and do, like...
a modern-day take on the Justice League.
Yeah.
And then they can't stop him, so Superman has to fight.
Yeah.
And then the Return of Superman, which is the Reign of the Superman, just totally streamline that. You don't need the destruction of Coast City.
No.
You don't need any crazy clones of Doomsday to come back. Well, that happened afterwards.
Yeah.
But you don't need any of that. Just like your 4 Supermen and then like the real one.
Yeah.
So you have Superboy, kind of explain him really quick. Steel, reference him. Eradicator, leave that to something. Cyborg Superman, you don't have to explain that it's...
Yeah.
What is it? Hank Henshaw? Yeah, you don't need to explain that he was an astronaut in space who is like a Reed Richards duplicate. You don't need to do that.
I mean, you don't even probably have to throw him in. You could probably do... Honestly, what you can do is you can leave out Cyborg Superman. You can actually bring in Superboy if you want to. Still, you can kind of bring in and leave out if you want to. And then Eradicator. You can have Eradicator come in because it's like, okay, this world Superman is gone. I'll now be its protector, and he can have this image of he think he is Superman. I'm just going to do the job. And then that's when, in the background, we get that hint, like, wait a minute, Superman's still alive. Then you've been finding out, like, he's been training, in this Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, he's been recovering all that good stuff.
Exactly. So you can set it up like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'll be great.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the DC stuff lately has been pretty spot on.
All the animated movies, I mean, I really enjoy them. I won't say they can't do no wrong, but they
they're enjoyable.
Yes.
They're good fan service.
Yes, and that's something where I wish they concentrated more on, because they're animated movies. I mean, even before like it was like the New 52 storylines and they tried to intertwine them together, it was just like what you were doing by taking random self-contained stories, some of them were, and just making them into animated movies. Wonderful. Like, story I would love to see, Red Sun. Make an animated version of that one.
Yeah, there's a motion comic already.
Yes.
Just go the next step, animate it. Like,
Exactly.
animate it into its own thing.
I mean, with New 52 now, it's like a lot of people can't say, oh, I didn't like New 52, but there are a lot of like Batman stories that you can, God, Endgame. What's that? Death of the Family?
Basically, do an animated version of all the Scott Snyder's run.
Yes. And then for like Superman, what was it? I think it was called Superman Unchained.
Not as great. I think there was there was something else. There was a DC animated movie that was kind of like that already.
Okay,
just in name only.
Yeah.
I think it was like Unbound. Yeah,
because this one is Unchained, the storyline. Just do that one. You go ahead and make an animated version of that one. Just change the suit, and it still turned out great.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't give him a New 52 suit. Age him up a little bit.
Hey, once Rebirth finally wraps up, you could start doing that.
Oh, I don't think the world's prepared for that just yet.
Ooh, once they do that animated Watchmen,
yes,
just have the same voice actors. Bring them over into a DC Rebirth movie.
Because, even DC Rebirth, you can honestly do DC Rebirth, do the button, then, do Doomsday Clock. Because, honestly, that's all the main stuff that you need to worry about. Titans, yeah, they throwing out, small hints to it, but it's nothing really too big. But, yeah, there's still so much, it wasn't called Tower of Babel. It was Justice League Doom. That was amazing.
They could introduce Jonathan.
Exactly.
Do an animated Lois and Clark.
There you go. And you can even do the story where it was Batman instead of, our world Batman instead of, who was it, Thomas Wayne giving birth. Helping with the giving of birth.
Yeah. That's the retcon.
Yeah,
in
that's
DC
what I'm
Rebirth.
saying. Just go that route.
Go the extra mile. Just do a Jonathan Kent origin in animated form.
Exactly. You don't even have to explain
and then do Super Sons.
Yeah. There's already so many stories that they can be able to do. Or, if you really want to get down to it, the perfect animated series that they can do, Green Lantern. And just go through all of Jeff Johns' run.
Yeah, they could do
Green Lantern Rebirth and just go from there.
Yeah. Green Lantern, it'd have to be an animated series.
Mm-hmm.
They already did one, then CGI.
Yeah.
I think they could go traditional hand-drawn animation.
And they could save some money.
Yeah, and then go all the way to Blackest Night, and then some.
Or even Blackest Night, it can be its own movie.
It'd be like another R-rated DC movie. I'd like that.
There's so many options that they have. And that's why I say you have the funding there, concentrated on your anime series, but I think the reason why they don't is because they probably don't get many sales from the DVDs.
Yeah, also, hand-drawn animation in America, not as well received as other parts of the country, or other parts of the world.
Send it over to China. They'll love it.
Does China like DC?
I don't know.
They have a Chinese Superman now.
Yeah.
Just make a movie about him.
Do an animated movie with his first arc.
That would be pretty sweet.
And then
do Death of New 52 Superman.
Yeah.
Actually, that could be the whole introduction to. We'll get into that later.
Because when you say the Death of Rebirth, did they actually go into detail saying that it's going to be the Death of Rebirth of
Oh shit! That would be interesting. Like the Death of the New 52 Superman.
Exactly.
And then
the
Reign of the
Rebirth,
Superman.
Yeah.
Is just Rebirth. Oh wow. I don't know if that's.
And they can take it one step further and actually do the rebirth of Superman, where he actually become now the current perfect Superman.
Yeah, where the rebirth Superman and his son, and then you have the Chinese Superman, and you have the Eradicator from the first arc of Superman Rebirth. That would be way better than what I just said earlier.
Exactly. Two minds are better than one.
Yep, get on that, DC, even though you're probably way into development.
Yeah, they probably was that sounds like a good idea. Should we do it they didn't file any copyrights.
Steal that idea. I'm totally fine with it. Do you want to talk about Frank Miller's Superman origin?
Yes. Frank Miller is such a weird person. But he is an amazing writer. That's the only reason I stick around. Some things he don't do too well. But I want to see how this is going to go.
Yeah, he sounds like he really wants to do this, and he really wants to do it his way. But he also feels he is a Superman fan. You could tell. Mm-hmm. Just the way he writes him in other stories. If it's a Batman story, Superman is really dumb. Batman is the smartest person in the world. The whole Justice League sucks. Batman is the best. If it's The Dark Knight 2, if it's like All-Star Batman and Robin, everyone who's not Batman sucks.
And think of it like this. When we read certain comics, sometimes we have to submerge ourselves. Because most of the time we're reading it from like the main character's point of view. And I mean, his version of Batman, who ate rats, as a child, and tried to feed him to Robin, and that was all his own choice of eating rats. Maybe we're looking at it through the eyes of like Batman and the vision of Batman, where it's like, I am the best and everyone else is stupid.
It gives him such a bad look.
I mean, in like, his run with Batman and his own stories, he's not the greatest Batman. Like the things that he do. So yeah, like, I mean, the way he portrayed Batman is always the greatest person. But we see when Batman do certain things, he is a bad guy. He's a horrible guy.
He is a terrible mentor. He is a terrible Justice Leaguer, and in the future, he's just a terrorist, basically.
And he kidnapped children and brainwashed them to think, hey, I could turn you into a superhero.
Yeah. I mean, if he has this idea of Superman, you can tell in his art, he has like this really interesting visual depiction of Superman. Mm-hmm. And I want to see like what his take on the origin would be like. I'm curious, but I'm also like hesitant to see how bad this is going to be because Frank Miller's a crazy person now. Yeah. But there's something about watching a train wreck that is so satisfying.
We can just see where it goes from here. Like, I mean, you never know. This may be his like swan song.
He is getting up there in age.
This may be his swan song, and it may be one of the best stories he's ever done
since like Batman Year One.
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically Superman Year One.
Yeah. I mean, he could probably blow that out the water.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to have the usual Frank Miller stuff with like choppy dialogue. It's all noir. Everyone glorifies the hero.
You never know. But is that our topics for today?
I think that's everything for today.
Okay.
That's all the DC that we cared about.
Yeah, even though we kind of like ranted about DC again.
Yeah, I might cut that short. I might try and trim it a little bit, but that was our rants, all our tangents, all the topics about DC from San Diego Comic-Con 2017.
I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with DC.
Yeah. You know what? All the movies, let's see what happens. The comics, they basically cannot do any wrong right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Grant Morrison's going to be writing the Batman story, too, coming up.
Ooh.
I'm excited about that.
Wait a minute. He's not doing White Knight, is he?
No, he's doing something else. I can't remember what the heck he's doing. But we'll just have to see.
We'll have to see.
All right. If you enjoyed this long podcast and you are totally fine with us in our DC ramblings, and if you are not fine with us in our DC ramblings, please don't hate us or whatever. But yeah, you can leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. It helps us out a lot. We like doing this and we like talking about stuff.
Yes.
I'm Marco.
I'm Charles.
This has been Nerd Boy's Comic Blog. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.